1 or 2 days extra, no problem. Once you are in a line, you can run. Okay, so that is it. So next one is installation steps. So we'll go to the installation of Linux one. So first I'm going to do this one. Guys, here remember, always remember this point. This is my physical machine. My physical machine, not your machine. Mine is 12 GB RAM. Next, always verify when you are dealing with the virtual machines, not a Linux or Windows kind of stuff. Main important is virtual machine. That is the main point. My CPU, already I told, virtualization must be enabled. In a memory, mine is 12 GB. Already laptop came with a 4 GB. I added a 8 GB. Currently available memory is 5.2 only. It means out of 12 GB, it is taken already 7 GB out of my hand by different process. Okay, so my available memory, tell me how much is available memory? 5 GB available memory. Okay, so 5 GB, more than 5 GB available memory. So for my virtual machine, I can assign up to 5 GB memory. Understand? For example, I will take your virtual machine, your physical machine. Your physical machine is 4 GB, and you verified how much available memory. It is showing a, for example, 2 GB available memory. Assign less than 2 GB to your virtual machine. It means 1 GB is enough. For you, 1 GB is enough for installation and working. We can use less also, but 1 GB is enough. Next, okay. Next one. Mm, in my side, I'm having a 5 GB memory for installation. Just one installation. For installation, I can use 4 GB because I have a 5 GB available memory. I have a 5 GB available memory. Okay, so I can use 4 GB. Still, I have a available memory. I can use 2 GB. Still, I can have a available memory. So that is the thing. Okay, so here it is. Carefully look at in this one. Okay, so depends upon your available memory. Just for installation, you can change your memory. For example, you have a 8 GB RAM and you got a, 4 GB available memory. Assign 2 GB here, no problem. Okay, like that. So understand that logic. If you don't understand, please tell me. I will tell again. If you don't understand this concept, guys, only one thing I will tell. This is your physical memory. Minimum, all your systems are 4 GB RAMs only. Okay, minimum RAM is 4 GB, right? For your virtual machine, and you are using Linux, right? So use 1 GB RAM only. That's it. No need to think about it. If you don't understand my concept, okay? My concept is different. My concept is I have a 5 GB available memory. I don't want to waste the time for installation, waiting time. Okay, so I'm going to edit virtual machine settings just for installation, guys. Later I will change it to 1 GB just for installation purpose only. I'm increasing my RAM to 4 GB. I'm increasing my RAM to 4 GB, and everything is good. So CPU, this check mark, 200 GB hard disk, and a image is inserted, and VMNet 0 is selected, and I selected this option, and I use UEFI. Click OK. My RAM is 4 GB now. I'm powering on the virtual machine. I'm closing this one. This is just a library. Anytime you can open it by clicking here. You can click here, it will open. Okay. Now click on the screen. Click on the screen. You can use up arrow, down arrow. Okay. If you use alt control, then mouse will be removed. Okay, see here it is. Mouse will go up, like out of your virtual machine. If you click on the virtual machine, you can work on this one. Okay, so install first option only. First option. Select the first option. Guys, can I go? Can I press? Or any doubt?
No doubt, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, because it's a CentOS, very less options in a minimal version. Okay, and I use a 4 GB, very less packages we are going to install. Let it go on. And there is an option called a full screen mode. You can put it in a full screen also. Okay, normally you have to move like this. Okay, and click on a continue kind of stuff. Okay, otherwise you can put it in a full screen mode. So click on a full screen mode, so like this, so it's a full screen, you will get it. Guys, can you able to see in a single screen, right? Screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Very good. The first option is India. Okay, step by step, remember. So first option is English India. Guys, if you like, you can select any languages, but always in India only. English India. English this side. This is this side, English India. Next. Just wait 1 2 minutes. Okay, these things will be disappear. So here it is. First option is networking option. Goes always for a network option, so then date and time will set properly. Network and host name, select this one. Okay, network and host name. Here you can see it is a off condition, on. Make sure on, and it will load the IP addresses. Okay, I got some IP address from my router, Wi-Fi router only. I got a IP address like this. Okay, and it is same as my physical laptop, so I know it. Okay, so this is, I got IP address from my thing, DNS server, default route kind of stuff. In a bottom you can see host name. It is showing a host name. I'm changing my host name part, like a CTS 9 Linux 1 dot example.com. Okay, you can give any .com here, but don't give any .coms are there. Okay, give example.com. Name is okay, any name you can give it, but I'm giving linux 1 dot example.com, and also I given like a CTS 9 example.com, and click apply. Then your computer name will be changed, and then important one is you need to get connected. So this is the screen, you should get it. If you don't get it, there is a problem in your network connection. Troubleshoot it. I will tell how to troubleshoot also. Next, once you done a network and host, go to date and time. So from starting, see automatically Asia Kolkata. This is our India. Okay, some people cannot, and make sure network time must be on. It is off, it is on. Make sure it is on. So then automatically through internet time will be set to your laptop. Sorry, to your Linux machine. Keyboard language support already we are selected. English India is there, so no need to do it. Installation source is your CD-ROM, okay, and no need to do anything here in generally. Software selection is a minimal. We downloaded a minimal image, right? Minimal. CentOS 7 minimal. So only minimal installation is there. If you download a full version like a 4.4 GB, you'll get a lot of options. Here, no options at all. And last one is installation destination. Installation destination means where you install the operating system into the 200 GB hard disk, and manually you have to partition. You can choose automatically configure partition and click on done is also okay. But better is always a manual one. I will configure partitioning. I will configure partitioning. Next, I am going to click on done. Okay, so I will configure partitioning. Done. Now it is asking like this. Click here to create them automatically. LVM like this. So I am going to select standard partition. I'm not doing LVM here. I'm going to do standard partitions. You can click here, so automatically partitions will create. Otherwise, you can create a manually also. So we'll try automatically. Click here. See, these are automatically created. See here, you can see boot 1 GB, boot slash EFI because UEFI is selected 200 MB. Home, it is 144 GB it is taken. SAP, it is taken a 4 GB. Slash, it is taken a 50 GB itself. Okay, so I'm not doing that one, so I go to reset all. Okay, so standard, and I'm doing manually by plus mark. See, it is standard partition plus, I told slash boot, right? See, can you remember these options which is I told earlier? The first one is slash boot. Is a 1 GB. So I told 1 GB. So 1 G is enough. Okay. Slash boot SDA1. This is a UEFI type, means compulsory you have to give this one also. This is also I will give 1 GB because I have a 200 GB is there. 1 GB. Both are 1 GB, 1 GB better. Otherwise, you can give some options. It's automatic expanding options also available. Next, slash. This is I told 20 GB, right? You can use 20 GB, 40 GB if you want it also. Okay, you can use a 40 GB also. I am changing to 40 GB. I changed my mind. Slash is 40 GB. Slash is 40 GB. Okay, slash is 40 GB. Next, slash home 20 GB. Slash home 20 GB. Slash where is also there. You can assign if you want. You can put it for a where also, no problem. Otherwise, I'm going with a swap. My idea is my machine is 1 GB, so that's why swap memory is 2 GB. Swap memory is 2 GB. Means my RAM is 1 GB, swap memory 2 GB, double. Or you can increase higher also. So guys, these are the things. See, SDA1, SDA2, SDA3, SDA4, SDA5. These are the partitions, and each one having a file system. See, file system XFS. For swap, file system is swap only. These are the Linux file system: VFAT, XFS, swap, ext2, ext3, ext4. Okay, so these are a morning, means the starting I told, slash boot slash home slash where, like that, that is. And in a down you can see available space is 136. So in the next classes, when you want to do some partitioning practicals, you can also do a lot of partitioning practicals here. Okay, so total space is, that's why I took in 200 GB, but I completed by less than one only. Okay, yeah, why it is available space is for 136. Yeah, that's it, right? Correct. It is around a 64 GB I took in. Okay, like that. 64 GB we selected here. Okay, 136 is available. Done. So it is asking these are partition numbers and all. Okay, accept the changes. That's it. Completed. Only begin installation. Begin installation. Guys, anybody want to see installation destination options? Again, partitioning.
I want installation
Installation.
source.
Just click it. That is device name is SR0, means it's your CD-ROM. Like image we inserted now, auto detected installation media. That's it only. Why these are many options are there? You can insert a CD and also you can install with some additional repositories. What are the packages additionally should be downloaded from the internet? Maybe images in the internet or a network, so we can download that. Options also available. In generally, what are the image we have? That is only we are installing here. We're not selecting anything. Okay, just click on a done only. Destination, partition, host, minimal only, no other options. Okay, I'm clicking on a begin installation. Now what to do? Create a password. Root is a user. I'm giving a root password. Guys, remember, first, second. Root first, user second. Remember what password you are giving. Guys, always give same password for a root. Root password. Remember root password. I'm giving admin at the rate 123. Even it is called, no problem. Admin at the rate 123. It is a weak password. If you forget this password, it is very difficult to troubleshoot it. Okay, don't you, if you use your one brain, no problem, but you have to remember the password. That is your risk. Okay, so root password. See, look at this one, root password. Don't do blindly. Root password. Okay, I given admin at the rate 123, first password. Second password, user creation. So click on user creation. Okay, click on a user creation. I'm creating a first user as a student. Guys, don't give caps and small kind of stuff. If you give cap letter, you must give cap letter always. That's important. I am creating a student one. Okay, as a user. And password is, I'm using student one as a password. Okay, so why I given same name? So I want to avoid the confusion between passwords. Okay, student one username, student one password. Done. Okay, so every time we create a when first of all we create a, we don't create, we given a password for root user. Root is a user, and we given a password is admin at the rate 123. And user creation is a student one. I created a new user and I given a student one is a password. Guys, remember here what password you are given always. Otherwise, no, write it down in notes. Write it down in notes. For first time you are doing means write it down in notes. I keep doing this one so I can remember. Okay, and user, which user, like you go to user, which user he created, name and what password. So after some time means Tomorrow or day after tomorrow you will ask something, and I ask like, what is your root password? So I don't know who is the root. This is the kind of answers we will get it. Okay, so keep it properly like in a straight line. That is user settings. First is root password. First password is root password. Second password is user password. User creation and password is there. And very less packages because it's a minimal. It's a only 301 packages only. By 5 to 10 minutes, it can be completed. So once we got a screen, we'll take a break and I will explain how to connect with the putty also. And there is a VMnet settings, VMnet 0 settings also there. Then it will be completed. How to come out from it? Just move your mouse to the top. Why it is not coming out? Yeah, because one more thing is there. That is your go-to meeting also blocking my coming out from the screen. Yeah, that is another problem. Anyway, it is installed automatically like a last. Last. Control Z. Only because of this go-to meeting kind of stuff. Post installation things. Guys, any doubts in installation? No, I got it. So we go to this option. Anybody having any other doubts? So this screen, so usually like it is giving me a little bar. So once this bar, the blue bar completed, it shows reboot. So click on a reboot, then it will ask some one or two options. That's it maximum. If it is asked, and it won't ask much. Okay. So we'll go back to the
Sir,
little.
in case if we forgot,
Yeah.
in case if we forgot the password, means what we have to do.
Root password. If you forget, then you have to troubleshoot. Instead of troubleshooting, you can install new virtual machine. We can reset root password. No problem. But it will take lot of time in a 7. 5 is very simple. 5 6 are simple, but 7 is will take lot of time. Lot of steps you have to take, and I forget our maximum steps in that one. That's why I forcefully said don't forget. Like a military rule. Okay. Yeah, tell me,
Sir,
tell me.
I have 369 GB free, sir, in my laptop. Is it okay, sir?
369 GB.
Yes, sir.
You have lot of. It won't take more space. Linux won't take more space mainly. 2 GB, 3 GB kind of stuff only. I installed DevOps, that is won't take much, even more, not more than 11 GB. Okay, 200 GB won't occupy from your machine. 200 GB won't occupy from your machine. Why this is making me crazy? How to exit from full? Yeah. So this is how we can exit from go to meeting plus. Okay. This is going on, guys. What you will do? Relax only. Don't do anything. Just relax. Try today to install. Okay, so first of all, create a virtual machine. If you can add the three lines, add it. If you cannot understand how to add a three lines, just leave it, no problem. But point is, if you add a three lines, the usage is internal virtualization. For example, in this Linux is a virtual machine here, right? Linux itself, in here, in my laptop, Linux is a virtual machine. In a virtual machine, you cannot create another virtual machine. First of, okay, in a virtual machine, you cannot create another virtual machine inside of the machine. Because of that three options, you can able to create it. You can able to create it. For example, you want to install Docker in the Linux, you can install it, and you can run the Docker like that. Windows 10, Windows servers, Hyper-V. You want to do work with a Hyper-V. You want to work with virtualization kind of stuff. Three options are very important to, you know, if you don't want to forget what to do, make it as a hobby. If you don't want to forget something, make it as a hobby. So that's why I added this. I do continuous. Okay. So if you cannot able to do it, you can do it. Do not worry. So already I forward one VMnet zero settings. I have a lot of videos related to that one. Okay. Sai Sharan is also there here. Okay. Not only this, like you will get a Linux. I use always CentOS. CentOS installation. Yum package manager. Putty. So how to access with a putty. Also like after installation, how to access with putty also there in this one. This is a recent one, so you can go to old one also. Linux remote and putty. SSH connections. Okay. But it's taking a lot of time. Anybody having any doubt from morning class, afternoon class? Mm, why it is taking too much time? Usually it will install. Guys, I forward these PPTs. Please go through once about a theory, kernel, shell. So what is kernel? What is the kernel management? What is shell? Okay. And these are a comments. These are comments. I will tell all the comments tomorrow. Okay. So one by one comments also we will see. What is the purpose Linux will use organization except a security purpose? Guys, Linux we don't use for a security. Already I told, if I said someone is a good person does not mean other person is a bad person. Okay. So Windows is compromised, Linux is never compromised. That kind of concept is not there generally. In generally, Windows is a widely used operating system. Windows servers also widely used operating system only. Otherwise, Microsoft will close the complete Windows kind of stuff. Linux has a lot of benefits. First importance of Linux is a lightweight kind of stuff. Portable. It is a portable, very lightweight, very less RAM we can able to run it. You can put a 1 GB for a high speed Linux machine, you can run it for 1 GB. If you know Windows 10 or a Windows servers, for a 1 GB, how much speed it will run. Okay, 1 GB RAM, it will run very happily. Lesser the processing required capacity, lesser RAM required capacity, lesser disk required capacity. And another thing is multi users, means multiple users. Listen, guys, everyone, multiple users can log into the Linux through the network. Multi user, multitasking. Linux is a multi user multitasking. It means multiple users through network, they can access the single Linux machine. Understand? In Windows, the facility is not there. You have to buy license per user. If they are logging, multiple users are logging to same machine, it means multiple licenses you have to buy. It is almost equivalent to buying a operating system. Okay, so here it is, freely you are getting operating system first of all, and important is multiple users can able to log in to the same machine. Same machine. For example, I have an application. This user is accessing, this user is accessing, this user is also accessing. That is the main benefit of one of the benefit of Linux. Linux is also a server. Importantly say, Linux is server. Windows server separate, Windows desktop is separate, but Linux is basically a server. Server means it provide a services. Like a server services are a most common services like a DHCP, it can provide DNS, it will provide. Other than this one, web services, okay, FTP type of services, means file services, SCSI related services, application related services, web application, PHP, database servers, database application, we can install it. By default you will get a MySQL, MariaDB, MySQL or a MariaDB, you will get it. Understand? So Linux, so many things you can able to do in a Linux also. LAMP servers, exam servers, you know, CMS kind of servers. So many things you can able to do it with the Linux. Okay, Linux not for securing your network. Definitely not. In Linux, there is a security things are there. Like we can secure your Linux. That's it. Linux not used for a security purpose. Linux is a server. Server means it provides a service. Server means it provides a service, IP address service like that. Okay, now we got a reboot option. Okay, so we got a reboot option now. So I'm clicking on a reboot. Okay, guys, I'm clicking on a reboot. So what happened? It is came blank screen. It is rebooting. So don't worry. That's it. My machine is ready. See, first time login. Always root. Okay, so type root, enter, and type root password admin at the rate 123. root password. Done. So I'm a login. If you see the hashtag, like here, if you see the hashtag in about there, so that is means you log in as a root. If you want to know which user you're actually logging, so put a who am I. That is a root user. Okay, you log in as a root. That's it. Don't forget about root. So this is it, guys. This is how you install a CentOS 7. So first one is I showed how to create a virtual machines in a two ways, and next how to install a operating system. Already I showed. Now OS is installed. Next part I will take after a break. If you don't understand the next part, also no problem, but I will show you. There is a two things are left. One is how to set a VMnet zero settings. First part. Second part. Second part is how to access our Linux machine with a putty. If you know that one, you will do so many things. Okay. Real time. In a real time, guys. Remember, always Linux is a server. Already I told Linux is a server, right? Server sits in a server room. Server sit in a server room. Except the server room administrators or main administrators, all remaining admins, junior admins should access the server from outside of the server room. Outside of the server room through the network. Through the network. So you want to access a server, either it is a Windows server or Linux server, or it can be a router or it can be a switch administration. So you have to access through network only. If you are accessing through network, that is called a in-band or inbound. Inbound or in-band, both are there. Okay, in-band. It means you are accessing through network for your servers, which is in a server room. For example, you are a person went inside a server room. You are a person went inside a server room and you are accessing a server directly. Physically, you are accessing a server. Physically, you are accessing a server or a router or a switch or a storage device. That is called a out of band, out of band or a bond, out of band. So, meaning of band is network. In band, through network. Out of band, directly server accessing. Direct server accessing is very less. You have to access the server through network only. Guys, understand out of band, in band? It's okay. Okay, so that's it. So take a break. Break means just a relax for 5 minutes. Just relax for 5 minutes. I will be back. So don't disconnect it. Okay, I will be back in 5 minutes. We'll complete it.